Let's talk about planning for a game day situation. Game day can have a lot of different elements no matter what the sport is, and we want to make sure that not only are we prepared to take on the flow of the game and the sport, but also that our athletes are prepared for what we are expecting of them. What is the flow going to look like? What can they be expecting to prepare for? What do they need to make sure they warm up? And this is a great way to get that all down on paper, make the plan, and be able to share it with our athletes. It is also good reference and information for us to have, either to look back on or to use moving forward throughout the season. So, to start off, we want to know who our game is going to be against. So, maybe we are playing against the Houston Warriors. That game is going to be on 9/26 this Friday at 7 p.m. Now that we know game time, we can figure out when and where we want our athletes to be meeting. We're going to assume that this is a home game. If we want to add that, we can. I know some teams will travel, some teams won't. So if you don't travel, that distinction is probably irrelevant. But if you do, that's a good one to have. But now we need to figure out what time and location we want to meet for warm-ups. So we want our athletes to meet an hour before game time at 6, and we will meet them in the wrestling room. Now that we have all of the basic information in that top section, let's figure out what we want to do for time outs. Now, this can be pretty sporadic. They are usually not taken on a regular interval, but it's good to have a plan to flow through so that when they do happen, we're not looking around trying to figure out, well, what are we doing now? What's happening next? And we just have a plan and a structure ready to go. So, whenever that first time out happens, we are going to be ready to hit our fight song, really amping the crowd up at the beginning. Our next timeout opportunity, we are going to throw up some stunts. Maybe we'll do some paper dolls. After that, let's look at some crowd involvement. Maybe we want to do something, some kind of game with our crowd, keep them involved, interested, excited. Maybe we do a little basketball toss game where they have to throw a t-shirt into the hoop made by a cheerleader in a prep, or something similar there. Get some crowd involvement going. The next time out, let's get some tumbling up. So we'll do some standing tumbling, hitting a little bit of everything in the first half. Now, when we get to halftime, what is our plan here? Are we expected to be doing anything by the school? Do we have any performances that we want to practice? Do we have a specific halftime routine that we want to showcase? So we can add that here so we are ready and we know exactly what we need to be doing at halftime. So maybe we have a performance that we want to showcase at halftime, but there is extra time in halftime. So after that, we're going to take a little break. We are going to have time to go to the bathroom, touch up our makeup, have a quick snack, drink some water, whatever that is, before we get back out for the second half of game time. Once we're back, maybe that first time out is going to be our hey song. We'll pop in some running tumbling. We'll get back to that crowd involvement with a t-shirt toss, everybody's favorite. And then our last time out will be our pyramid sequence. Now, at the end of the game, if we have any traditions that we normally do, whether win or lose, if there's different ones for those or the same thing, whatever that looks like, feel free to throw it in here. I know a lot of programs will end win or lose with their fight song as their send off. So now we have a plan for the game. We are ready to go. We know what to warm up. Our athletes know what to be prepared for, and we are good to go there. This bottom section is a good spot for any miscellaneous notes or reminders that we need. Maybe you want to be adjusting how your cheers are called and you want to try some different things. And so For this game, we're going to have our captain call the cheers. Just the captain is going to be in charge of calling. Maybe it looks like them starting to call the cheer without motions. As you hear the cheer, you join in the cheer. And then the second round, everybody joins in with motions. And we go until there is a last time call. Maybe you have your athletes taking turns and you just go down the line on who is calling cheers, and every cheer is only 3 rounds. So we're all ending after 3 rounds, no matter what the cheer is. Whatever that looks like for you, if you're changing it, you can put it in there or whatever other notes you need. Maybe we've added some cheers recently and we want to make sure they're not forgotten. Maybe you have a new hello cheer and you want to make sure that that is added in at the beginning, that your captain is calling that early. We have a note to remind us of that. Those are some good preemptive notes, but this is also a space for us for any during game notes. So we can keep track of things without totally losing focus on the game. All of our information is right here. So maybe one of our athletes, maybe Jamie, is tardy by less than 10 minutes. All right, now we're prepared for whatever consequence needs to be enacted. We can track that on attendance when we get our attendance sheet out later. But we have that noted, and now we don't have to think about it and try to remember it in our headspace throughout the game. Maybe you noticed that Sue has no facials today. Maybe that warrants a discussion. Maybe there's consequences to that, whatever your situation is, but you have a note of that. You know that it's there. Maybe Claire's stunt fell. What is the situation for that? Are there consequences after the game that need to be enacted? Are there consequences at practice? Is it a stunt that's been struggling and you just need to review grips and safety protocols and making sure that those athletes are strong enough and capable to hit that stunt? What does that look like so we're not falling in front of a crowd again? And maybe Abby did not throw her back handspring, and we need to look at that and figure out why that wasn't thrown, make sure that she's comfortable, confident, able to throw that, so we don't have somebody in our line of standing tumbling in the middle that just doesn't throw their pass. So this is all information that we can have to get us set up for game day, make sure we're all on the same page, ready to go without holding too much chaos in our brain space. We can feel prepared and comfortable as we're taking on game day.